Hello traders and welcome to the market opening preview Monday, March 23rd, 2015. Traders, great to be back with you, coming to you live from Pattaya, Thailand. Hazy skies, white sandy beaches, and I don't know what's going to happen today. I think we might get some rain. We need it. Traders, remember this is brought to you through FXCL Excellence in Trading. Today's going to review 6 currency pairs with trade setups and analysis. And of course, we'll talk about some news and commentary before we get to the charts. But before that, let me introduce myself to you. My name is William Gilda. I'm your moderator for the market opening preview series every single trading day before the London Open. Traders, I started trading in the year of 2006 and 2008. I retired from a wonderful career in the fire rescue department out of the great state of Florida. Traders, came to Thailand 9 days later, and well, traders, I'm still here, and it's 2015. So I guess I'm hanging out for a while. Having a great time. And it's a great time zone to trade Forex. I can actually trade all 3 trading sessions and still get a good night's sleep. Traders, I do trade the Forex markets every single trading day. I am in the markets. I'm listening to fundamentals. I'm seeing what's going on. I'm trying to analyze and getting probabilities and opportunities to take trades to gain me profits in most of my trades. Remember, we don't win every trade. That's impossible. All right, that's just a little bit about myself. And yes, I am having a good time. Let's get over to legal stuff. This is a risk disclaimer. Remember that Forex trading has a large potential rewards, but also a large potential of risk. You must be aware of the risks and be willing to accept them in order to invest in the Forex markets. Traders, most of all, please do not trade with money you cannot afford to lose. Traders, always remember that past performance of any trading system or methodology is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right, traders, moving on. Let's go to the news and commentary. Let's talk about the indices and what happened on Friday. The Dow closed up 0.94% in the green. The S&P 500 also with the same 0.90% in the green. And the NASDAQ was in the green at 0.68%. The Russell 2000 was in the green at 0.91%. Let's move over to the Eurozone. Looks like a bunch of green there too. The DAX was up 1.18%. The FTSE was up 0.86%. And the CAC 40 was up 1.00%. And the Euro Stoxx 50 was up 1.51%. Nice. Traders, let's move over to Asia. Remember that the countries that I'm currently going to talk about are trading actively right now. These markets are open. The Nikkei 225 is positive 1.07%. The S&P ASX 200 out of Australia is in the red. It's negative 0.22%, with the Shanghai in the green at 0.60%. And the Hang Seng is also in the green at 0.47%, with the Kospi in the green at 0.27%. So that gives you an idea of what's going on as far as the indices went at the close after the New York markets and what is currently trading in Asia. Traders commentary, data today is nil to none. This is going to be a technical trading day. The big event today is that a half hour after the New York Open, we have ECB President Draghi speaking. And yes, you know he will move the markets. Well, last week was quite a week. I have to be honest with you, I didn't get a lot of those trades. The FOMC announcement and all that comes out at 2 o'clock in the afternoon Eastern Standard Time. That's 3 o'clock in the morning for me. So I missed all those trades. And I was sort of trigger shy, taking the rebound on the next day. So I really didn't make out on FOMC. It wasn't good for me. Well, it wasn't bad for me, but it wasn't good for me. I mean, as far as entering trades. I'm hoping that this week we sort of get back into our trends. We've got some interesting currency pairs that are at resistance on the daily chart. And, yeah, we have some interesting pairs out there. But, you know, we have to keep our bias, and you have to stay with the bias. I trade a 1-hour chart live, and I use the daily chart as my guideline of what's going on. So that's basically what's going on with me. I think it's going to be a good trading week. We don't have no holidays or anything, so we have a full week of trading ahead. So let's get to it. This is all 60-minute Forex charts that we're going to show you. Traders, this is my trade plan, okay? This is what I think is going to happen. That doesn't mean you need to trade what I have on these charts. Please do your own analysis, and if yours matches mine, man, that's great. We can do it together. Get in these trades and make some pips. Or lose some pips. But hopefully we're going to make some pips. Excuse me. All right, let's get started with the euro dollar. The euro dollar is rebounded all the way back from the FOMC down move below the 200, came back up. Now is at resistance and has come back in the Asia session. And I put this trend line in there. It's only a two-touch trend line. And basically I wanted to close below the trend line, and we're about 5.5 hours before the London Open, and take this down to the 200 exponential moving average, grab my 30, 40 pips. I think it's like 33 pips, and get the heck out, to be honest with you. And yeah, and if it breaks the 200, I'll just continue selling it. But if you look left of the chart, after the break of the 200 exponential moving average, you have a lot of junk on the left of the chart where you're going to have support areas before you get clear of that. So I've given you two entries. One is below the trend line at 1.0793, and then again at 1.0659. So these are two entry levels that you can enter this trade on. I'm not interested in buying the euro, folks. Sorry, I'm still not there yet. I'm not ready to buy the euro, and I'm not going to. So we want to sell this pair. Let's take a look at the pound dollar. Pound dollar is in an interesting situation. This just happened to happen that this trend line ended up touching the active candle. When I put this trend line in there, I really don't like a trend line to be on an active candle. So, it is what it is, but it is. And this is another situation where, if you take a look, we're at resistance here, right? Double tops and all that sort of stuff. So we want to break this trend line. We want a bearish candlestick formation. We want to take this down to the 200. We want to take this down at 1.4920, or wait for it to break the 200 and go in at 1.4832. Now you're probably wondering why I brought that entry down so much from the 200. The reason is, if you look left of the chart, we have some support down there, and I wanted to clear that support before we enter the second trade. If you can, conservative wait for that second trade. I want to make sure we clear that support area left of the chart. Okay. All right. Let's take a look at the Aussie dollar. The Aussie dollar in a 38 pip range at resistance. Pretty interesting pair. I'm looking for this to drop, to be honest with you. I'd like to see this break out of this range and at 0.7752. And we'll take this all the way down to the 200 exponential moving average. We do have a nice, clear, wide open space. I don't see any problems coming to the downside. And at 0.7683, we're going to take our profits, or probably about 10 pips above that, maybe even 15 pips above that, take some profits and get out of that trade before we get to the 200. It will react to the 200. The Aussie loves the 200 exponential moving average, and it likes to wobble around and give bounces and make you go a little bit nutty. But yep, that's what's going on there. So yeah, good sell trade on the Aussie dollar if it works. No data today. It's a Monday. There's no data, and I hope to be done with my trading way before ECB President Draghi speaks, a half hour after the New York Stock Exchange opens. There's a Euro Aussie. Interesting here. We've been talking about the Euro Aussie all week last week, how it's just been in a mess. If you go to that 200 exponential moving average, this pair just absolutely adores the 200 exponential moving average. It really likes hanging out there. I want to see this break out of this junk and break below that. If this breaks below this trend line and gives us a bearish candlestick formation, traders, I'm telling you, we have a totally wide open space. We have a little bit of support left of the chart there. You'll see that big wick on that blue candle at the bottom, Bollinger Band. I don't think that's going to hold us up. So, and if it does, it's not going to, we'll be break even by then. But yeah, I would love to get in this and just take this all the way down to 1.3768. This just looks like a really great opportunity here on the Euro Aussie. And the daily chart is still bearish. It's been in a range and it's been ugly. But the nice thing about the Euro Aussie is it moves about 130, 140 pips a day on a monthly average. So we'd like to see this break this trend line, and we're going to sell this. And this is a valid trend line. This is a 5-touch trend line, so this is valid. So let's get through this trend line and let's make some pips. All right, this is Euro Yen. Euro Yen is as bearish if you take a look at the daily chart. And I've decided that I'm not going to trade into the 200 exponential moving average at 129.40. However, I'll wait for it to break that trend line. The 128.91 is not like in stone that we've got to enter it there. Anywhere below that trend line is fine to enter this trade. I think it's a great trade. These Bollinger Bands have to open. We hope to see that in in the London Open. Better be open by New York. That's a long time away. So, we want to see this just break this trend line and get out. Yeah, well, you know what? We're gonna miss out on 28 pips or 30 pips to get below that trend line, but that's okay. I'd rather do that than get stuck on a bounce of that 200 and this come all the way back up to resistance again. So we'll be conservative and wait for this to break and the Bollinger Bands to open. And our last pair of the day is the New Zealand dollar. Wow. What an interesting pair this has been. If you look at the daily chart, it is still bearish, straight as it's still bearish. I put a resistance line here, and that's a resistance line from the daily chart. The daily chart is that resistance line. So I sure don't want to buy this. I want to sell this. Again, I'm just looking for this to get below that trend line. I know it's only a two-touch, but I mean, there's nothing to fib. I'm not going to buy this. I'm not going to buy into resistance. Right? I want to sell this. It's in a downtrend and just take it down to the 200 exponential moving average. You can see where there's support before the 200. I should have marked that for you, but you can see where it is and, expect to bounce it, but you're going to be way in profit by the time you get down to that level. And then once you break that area, you'll clear to the 200, and by that time, your day is over. Hopefully that bottom Bollinger Band will open up sideways before that happens. A little nerving that the upper Bollinger Band is wide open to the upside. So this might bounce off this trend line first before we get our entry. So we'll have to be patient with this one. This one looks like this is going to be a London Open trade. We're not going to be able to get in this before that. Traders, on behalf of myself, William Gilday, and our great friends, FXCL Excellence in Trading. Traders, come and visit us at fxclearing.com for your trading solutions. Traders, I wish you a profitable trading day. And remember, you want to trade smart and not hard. Traders, come to you live from Thailand. Have a great trading day. And we'll catch you tomorrow before the London Open. Take care, traders, and bye-bye.